So, Irek, you moved to Poland recently, right?
Recently, 3 years ago. Yes,
3 years ago. After what? 20 years out of Poland?
Around like that, with some breaks, 20 years.
Well, I'm already settled here because I'm here for more than 10 years, and I moved.
And
you moved from your
my last location was Hong Kong,
Uh-huh.
but before I was in Indonesia, Russia, China, Dubai, Ukraine, and as well I work in Libya and studied in Baghdad.
I moved from Switzerland. Well, theoretically, my family was in Switzerland because I was traveling the world. My wife and kids were in Switzerland, and I did my business development in like 40 countries, all over the world. 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. But that was, let's say, officially it was Switzerland, yeah.
Okay.
And moved here.
Bernard, in Poland you are a very successful and known entrepreneur and consultant. But probably our friends from abroad who are watching us, maybe they are not yet familiar with you.
Yeah.
Why you will not tell something about what you're doing?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm doing actually the business consultants with the Polish companies, the owners of Polish companies, mainly the companies which are growing. The growing companies which certain point discover, usually because of you, because we are trying to do international business, that they need to develop the project management skills, the time organization, and the quality manners, and the good habits in management. So I'm usually working with the owners of the company and the top management to build up the good management habits. So this is what I'm doing currently, which is for last more or less 5 years. And before I was doing the global business development in the company, which was doing the marketing, hardware, and the software. It was just actually the area which was the mix of this three, because we're doing the research of advertisement. So that was before. So that's my story, and now your story, my friend.
My story as well. For the last 3 years I work as an independent consultant, trainer, coach and mentor, independent, and as well with the couple of the leading Polish companies. I work on the leadership development, but my true passion is cross-cultural communication. Cross-cultural communication, helping other cultures communicate well with each other.
And this is actually the reason why
we
met today. Exactly, because we decided to prepare for you, our friends, how it called, a user manual, a quick guide towards the Polish soul, not really, towards the Polish business, yeah? Because maybe you are one of these guys who just recently came to Poland. One was from China, his name was Steven, right?
Steven,
yeah,
one from US, John,
and Dr. Schmidt from Germany. And we actually met in the airport in Warsaw, yeah? And they were quite surprised because it was their first time in Poland.
What to expect here.
Exactly.
Yes.
And before they entered the country, if you would introduce the country to them, or actually show us a little bit of the map of the cultures, what would you say?
That's correct. There are many models of the how the culture communicate, cultural dimension. I am a big fan of Erin Meyer's The Culture Map, great book with the couple of dimensions about how people communicate. Is it low or high context? How the feedback is provided? What is the distance in the hierarchy? Is the culture more focused on the harmony or the direct disagreement?
But the guys, we are tired after the traveling, so we don't want this theory. Give us something practical. Something practical from the book.
Let's start with the way how we communicate.
How we communicate.
So our friends, 3 colleagues, they will come to the headquarters, to the office in Warsaw, and they will meet with the colleagues. That will be a meeting.
And here is actually this map, this line, yeah?
This line.
What does it mean?
So cultures who are on that side, for them, the definition of the good communication is that it is direct. You take it to the face value. What you say, you mean. On the other side, communication is subtle, diplomatic. You need to understand the context. So our Steven from China, he could be surprised.
So what is Steven here?
Steven is here, and he will be surprised because for him we will sound aggressive, too direct, not nuanced. And he will be thinking, are we now not showing him respect? Are we not, we are too aggressive. And we will have a problem understanding him because we don't know the context of what he's saying. So, yeah, what really does he mean? Why he will not tell exactly what he needs?
So actually, they actually on different ages of the scale, and we're in the middle.
We are in the middle, and that's why we would like to invite you to Poland, because we are a good bridge, communication bridge between the culture. Really, when you look here at this map, it doesn't matter so much where you are there, but where in compare to other culture you are. So, for example, here for our Steven, we will be too aggressive in communication, but for our friend from States or from Germany, we will be not direct enough.
I see. So in practical terms, well, sorry, but I want to go down to the earth. Yeah,
Let's go
to the practice. Yeah. So all of them, three of them, they will be surprised, but actually in completely different way. Yeah. So the
That is
surprise
correct.
for Steven will be that these guys they are so much direct, and he might say unpolite,
aggressive.
and he might say it about Polish until he would go into deeper communication with the American and German, right?
Then
Because
the
they are-
shock will be even worse.
Yeah, okay.
Then the shock will be
So
even worse.
he is probably lucky that he started from Poland.
That's correct.
His trip to Europe instead of starting from Germany or the Netherlands, because I guess that the Dutch, as I know it personally, I don't know
Same.
by the book, by heart, I think the Dutch were really extreme in being direct. Don't we?
And that's why I met a lot of Polish people who were extremely successful working in international environment, because for them it is easier to flex their communication style to reach other cultures.
So when we talk to our three visitors, to Steven, John, and Dr. Schmidt, so we say, guys, you are most welcome to come here, and you will be surprised. You will never forget, yeah? What else?
What else? The other one, which is very important when you do the business, is how you give the feedback, the negative feedback. Look as well here, the American. What is the style? He will say 3 good things, 1 bad thing, and 3 good things. Sandwich technique. For us, look where we are. We are much more on the direct side of giving negative feedback. So if our manager from US will try to give us the sandwich technique, the Polish people will say, hey, what you want to say? Just tell us directly what you mean.
I see. Let's imagine that our 3 visitors, actually, they jump into the taxi, they end up in the hotel, and next day in the morning, they will have meetings, let's say each one of them in different company. So, and somehow in the hotel lobby, they are so much lucky they meet you. And Steven actually, with his red eyes because of the jet lag, he says, oh sir, you are that famous cross-culture specialist, tell me the top tip how to deal with my Polish partners. What do you say?
I would say to all of them, the rule number 6. So have a distance from yourself. Okay.
Why
And,
6? It's because of
that's
the
there is no others. There is just one rule. The rule number 6.
Right.
Have some distance. Don't be so
Okay.
serious.
Right.
Don't be so serious.
Yep.
And that's important. They have to. All of our colleagues have to understand that we all look to the reality through the glasses of our own culture, and we think that it is normal. That's how everybody reacts. It's not true. We have a different parameters, different software, and yeah, that will be my first advice.
Okay.
Yes.
So besides all these maps, everything, the messages actually, take it easier.
Take it easy. Exactly. Nobody would like to offend you. Yes. So very often, if somebody communicates different way, we are feeling offended. So if somebody repeats you 3 times and check, did you understand? You feel, hey, I am not a child. I understand first time. But that is a very typical for the direct cultural communication style, like our John, that he wants to make sure that you understand, and he will ask you 3 times.
Yeah, especially that he's dealing with Polish, speaking our Polish accent, Polish, English, I've heard it might be challenging to foreigners.
It might be challenging, and as well, our English is often perceived as aggressive. because of the politeness principle, which in the UK, US, could you, may I ask you, could you be so kind and send me this report? We are much more direct. We are much more direct, and the language will sound harsh.
So this is the sound of the language because of the lack of the formal politeness.
That's correct.
Plus the ways we pronounce English, because I think it's much easier to Polish to pronounce properly, I think, in German or Spanish or Italian than English, right?
We are as well, Polish culture is kind of the coconut culture. There is this difference, coconut and the peach culture. In the peach cultures, it's very easy to make the first contact and the first relation. But then,
so this is, you mean, like American culture,
for
right?
example, with the small talks, with being friendly, with being polite, smile all the time. Yes.
Yeah.
For some others, it will be perceived as a false, because that is just on outside. If you want to know them better, it will be difficult because there is the hardcore inside. Polish culture is much more coconut culture. We are perceived as the harsh, not smiley, very serious. You need to break through this. When you break through this, inside there is a flavor and sweetness. You were telling about the story about your Swiss experience coming from Switzerland with your car.
I mean my car, yeah.
And that's a great example of how coconut we can be as a Polish.
Right, yeah, that was many years ago when I was actually taking all my goods from Switzerland to Poland. Among everything was a car. Okay, and I drove it to Poland. I made all the paperwork. I thought it was all the paperwork on the Swiss-Austrian border because I was entering European Union.
Didn't.
Well, apparently I realized later that I missed one important, probably T1 or whatever it was, the form. Okay, happy, returning home in Poland, going to the custom office and saying, okay, could you please just stamp, to register my car.
And done.
And done, yeah. I hoped done, yeah.
And
of course, the lady at the counter, the custom officer, she was really the officer, right? Very tense,
serious.
Very serious, yeah. So, excuse me, sir. Wait a moment, yeah. This paper, have you got this? I think it was T1. T1? T1? So it's T1? You don't have a T1 form. What is it? No, you were supposed to get it in, in the Austrian border, If you don't have it, you committed a crime. You smuggled the car. Oh, well,
You've been in the problem.
Oh, so it was Friday afternoon. He said, "Oh, you see, it's Friday. You see, I got the problem. You got the problem. Everybody got the problem now. Friday. Yeah. How we can resolve it, lady? Yeah." And she said, "It's not easy, but I can talk to my boss." And she called the superior, the boss.
Even more serious guy, probably.
Of course, yeah. Even the elder in rank and the age as well, with the white hair. And she said, "What was the point?" I said, "Like that." He said, "Oh, and what?" I said, "Oh, you see, I lived in Switzerland, and in Switzerland, I just lost actually my focus of alertness, of, let's say, of the details, because they, make everything easy for you. And, I did this mistake, how we can do it, yeah." And
you start showing the face, your human face.
yeah, and I said, it's my mistake, what can I do? And he said, "You were in Switzerland. For how many years?" I said, "For 8 years, it's an interesting country." He said, "Yeah, I know it's interesting. Tell me more. What about the schools there? Because I have kids." And I started talking about schools. And
create the closeness.
Yeah. And it was more officers actually around me, and they started asking questions about Switzerland. At certain point was like a dozen of these custom officers. I think all the station of the custom office was there. I don't know, for like half an hour.
So you break the wall of the coconut.
It seems so, yeah. Then I didn't know the concept, yeah. I was just myself. and then at the end of that, the officer realized it was quite late and nobody's working, just talking to me. He said, okay, that's enough. I said, "Yeah, but what about by T1? And he said, it's not an easy case. Officially, you might have a really huge fine, or even you might go to the prison because it's really the big office. However, I will tell you how we do it. In a couple of weeks, you will receive a letter from another custom office. They will call you to come there as a crime suspect. You go there, but I promise, they will just give you the lecture. They tell you that you committed the crime. If you agree to accept the lecture, if you accept, that's done. You will be not fined. And
That's
That was
what's
like
happened.
that. That's happened like that. You know.
But that is a fantastic example, even if it's happened within the Polish group, of how important is relationship to deal with the Polish people. Yes, that if you want to be effective, you have to break this wall. You have to go deeper. To do this, you need to start knowing somebody better. Go for the dinner with him, and have some flexibility.
Yep.
Probably for our colleague Dr. Schmidt, imagining this discussion would be difficult. If the law said one thing, you should follow. And in Poland, often we have this double face. Officially, we say something else, and on the private base, we say more. We are more flexible.
Yeah. But how it is in Germany? In Germany, they are coconut or peach. What's the German culture?
Definitely coconut and with the very deep walls of the coconut.
I see.
So there is the concept of not mixing the business and the private life. Yes,
I see.
they are separated. For us, they are over.
So Dr. Schmidt would perfectly understand this coconut thing. So he wouldn't be surprised about this formal, cold faces at the first point.
He will be very comfortable there.
Yeah, because it means that they are business people. Yeah,
Exactly,
They
but-
are not this mixing of, let's say, private business, who knows what. Yeah.
But would he find a way to solve the business issue? When he is not flexible. That's the point. If you want to deal with the other cultures, you have to adapt to their communication style, to the way how they see the world.
So you mean Dr. Schmidt, he might think that being a coconut, in a coconut culture of Poland, that would be the fair enough for business. And you are saying, no, Dr. Schmidt, you need to break the coconut. Is it breaking the coconut? It's not the German way. That's right, but it's a Polish way.
Exactly.
And what about Stephen? Is his culture coconut culture too?
For Stephen, it's even more complicated, because if you look at the relationship dimension of relationship of the trust, there are some culture where in order to do the business with you, I have to know you better. I have to know who you are. Can I trust you or not? Middle East, Asia, very much I need to break the wall of the coconut first in order to start doing business with you. If you look on the other side, Germany or the States, it's not required. Yes, business is business. Time is money. If we have a deal, we have a deal. I don't need to know the name of your dog. On the other side, I need.
Time is you said time is money? What
Time
about
is money,
What about time?
and the time
Tell
is
our friends
different.
about time. Huh?
Exactly, because we believe that time is the same in every place. It's not true. If you say, if in Switzerland, yes, you've been in Switzerland, if the Swiss guy will tell you, it will be done for tomorrow, what it means.
He will say it will be done for tomorrow for 9:15 in the morning, and it will be exactly 9:15 in the morning.
Exactly. If it is in the Middle East and you say bukra, tomorrow, maybe it can be tomorrow, maybe it can be 3 days later, or never. So the time flies differently. And as well, how punctual, how obsessed with time we are, it can be very destructive dealing with others. Herr Dr. Schmidt, if at 9 o'clock is the meeting, he will be exactly 9 o'clock. Our Polish colleague, maybe he will be 10-15 minutes late.
Yeah, but by the way,
Because that was the traffic jam.
of course.
Or something.
Well, anyway, 15 minutes delay is academic
Nothing.
quarter is normal here. No, 15 minutes. You even shouldn't complain about it, huh?
And it's not show of disrespect.
No, of
Not
course,
at all.
no. If it would be more than 15 minutes, then you have the right to complain. But Dr. Schmidt, it was just 10 minutes. Come on, it was the traffic is Warsaw. Huh? But by the way, I think Steven should never go into the same taxi with Dr. Schmidt. Because Dr. Schmidt would expect taxi 9 o'clock and Steven would have he met someone at the reception and that might be business opportunity. So Dr. Schmidt, wait, I need to talk to the person.
For Stephen, the time has a couple of the streams which goes at the same time. And he's very flexible switching these flows, these streams, because maybe here is something more important happening. So, okay, you have to change priorities and that's nothing wrong. You manage the time, not time manages you.
So Steven is talking to this wonderful business person at the reception desk while John and Dr. Schmidt are waiting saying, Steven, 9 o'clock.
Time is money.
Time is money. Time is money.
And be respectful.
No, Stephen, how much it cost me this 15 minutes? Is $100,000. Oh, friends, you know, this business opportunity is billions of dollars.
And indeed, all of them are right.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they just need to understand that they see it differently, and the other person don't try to show them disrespect.
So that reminds me that the joke, I don't know if you know the joke, there were two business persons. Let's say one was in Shanghai and one was in Paris.
Okay.
And they decided actually to visit each other. So they actually boarded the train, one in Shanghai, one in Paris, and started their journey. Of course, many days from China, some hours from Paris, but all of a sudden something was wrong actually in the train. The train stopped in Warsaw. They left the train, both of them, and both of them, they were quite sure they are actually at their destination.
Wow. How great metaphor of where Poland and our culture is. Indeed, if you look at at the map, we are in the middle, and culturally the same. And that's not only in the one dimensions, but most of the dimensions we are in the middle. Let's say about egalitarian versus hierarchy. I was so proud and so surprised when I joined American company. Even when the president came, we were on the first name, and that was absolutely normal. That was hierarchy was not so important, but when you are working with Dr. Schmidt or with Steven, hierarchy is very important for them. For Steven, even more. Boss is the boss and should not be challenged openly, because that will be the loss of the face. For the John from the States, challenge me, tell me that you don't agree, and it's okay. And we are able to balance.
So what you say that all of them, Dr. Schmidt, John and Steven, would find Polish people understanding their style because we're in the middle, or it would be still disturbing somehow?
No, that will be disturbing. But what is the chance for Polish people and for Poland is that because we are in the middle, it's easier for us to flex and to make this step to reach both sides. It is much easier than if you are on the one spectrum versus the other.
So that's why Dr. Schmidt, John and Steven, they met in Warsaw, right?
Indeed.
Because they hoped that we actually would cross-fertilize their experience and their businesses.
And we can, and that's the reason why we are inviting you to Poland to come and to try the opportunities. And as well to find the guys like us.
Yeah, that's right. This is the point, yeah. Anything at the final point to Dr. Schmidt, to John and to Steven, you know, the final suggestion, what you really recommend when they come to Poland? What do you say?
In general, Polish people likes foreigners. We are curious, we would like to learn about other cultures, so talk about your culture. Explain. If you will be surprised with something, hey, just tell about this, yes? We would like to listen. So yeah.
I see, yeah. So you mean that if any one of them would be just confused in the business situation, like Steven would say, oh guys, you know, why you behave like that, we do different way, Polish would be most happy if you explain that, you know, but in China we do like that. People will actually listen, yeah, they love the stories from other countries, yeah. Or if Dr. Schmidt would be actually upset that Janek, who is picking him up, is coming 10 minutes later, if he would explain that, you know, in Germany, even if you come 1 minute late, it's really considered, you know, very upsetting, you know, and I've heard that in Poland it's different. Janek would be happy to know it, and he will share at home saying, you know, this person from Germany, he told me in Germany is like that. And then, you know, that's the story people love.
That's even a little bit more complicated because that is the way how the story is told. But if the story is told to build relation, to break the coconut wall, then that will be sweetness inside.
You're right, yeah, because the risk is that if you tell your story the way you would like to complain by the story,
exactly, that my position is better,
might be
and here in Poland doesn't work
Yeah,
good.
that's right.
We like to complain about Poland, but we don't want that the other will complain about it. That is only us who has a right to this. So
Okay.
it's the way as well how you tell this story. If you share it to enrich, to build relationship, fantastic. If you've started from the position, I am good and you are bad, doesn't work.
So it's, you just say a lot of compliments about Poland and how you see the things, but be honest, actually tell about the things you really like, and if you would like to share your story, share it in the really, really delicate manner, right?
Exactly. And as well, one more advice, when you come to Poland, hey, do some homework. Learn about few famous Polish people. Kopernik, Kiri Skłodowska, our last Pope, and Polish people would love you for this. Couple of the words. Dzień dobry, do widzenia, dziękuję. Fantastic. Open the heart.
Yeah, that always works, yeah, everywhere.
But that's work in any culture.
Yeah,
Anywhere you go,
yeah, that's right.
it's the same.
Okay.
We are just a human. People, and at this very much human level, it works very well.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Bernard, thank you very much.